Welcome to the question and answer session on the Teaching Practical Chemistry course. We hope you've enjoyed the course and found it useful, and we've certainly enjoyed reading the comments that you've made as we've gone through the course together. We have a couple of questions to have a look at today, which come from Chloe and from James as well. And they're both on very similar ideas, which is about students not being able to follow practical instructions. And there's several ways that we can look at this, one of which is how we stage the practical and its purpose, which we discussed during the course. If we're very tightly focused on what we want students to do, and they know what they have to do to achieve it, then that can help them stage their practical work. Other things that can be done include staging practicals out, such as slow practicals, which James mentions in his question. This is where you do one thing as a demonstration, go and get students to go and repeat that action, come back, see the next step and keep doing that. And for some students that can be a useful introduction, or where something is particularly tricky to do. However, if you do all practicals like this, students will not be able to make progression. What you might do is, such as in the copper sulfate making that we did during the course, is what activities can you do to demonstrate, get students to have a go at, then potentially explain why they've done it, then move on to the next step. So it's not just a case of repeating what the teacher does, but actually linking very carefully into what they've done. What we might also look at in lessons is getting students to reorder practical instructions themselves as maybe a series of work cards that we produce for them. And then as they do each step, they move it to one side and potentially annotate as to why they've done that step, then move on to the next part. So they're learning the sequence as they go, and they're working their way through a checklist. That can also be used in a flipped lesson style environment, where you have students attempting to reorder practical work or work out the missing step before they come to the lesson, so they're prepared and ready to go. There is also an excellent video available in week 3 of our Managing the Practical Classroom in Secondary Science course, which looks at a teacher explaining how they put the practical work into steps and sequence it for students to be more effective. Some of the other things that have come up during the course are about the time required to do practical work, which we have also had in discussions addressing about how you might shorten practical work to focus on just one or two key components. And also the fact that some awarding bodies, exam boards, expect certain ways of practicals to be done. However, the more opportunities students have to see different ways of doing things, such as multiple ways of addressing electrolysis with many different solutions, they are more likely to be able to understand the process and be able to tackle questions in any form that appear in the exam. Thank you very much for the time that you've given for this course. We hope you found it useful, and we look forward to seeing you on other courses run by STEM Learning on the Future Learn platform.